Did you eat the carpet, Mickey? Did you? You didn't, did you? You did. Oh, Mickey, why'd you eat the carpet, eh? My dog ate and made a hole in my carpet, as you can see here. Bless him. So how do we fix it without having to change the whole carpet? It's often difficult to claim on the insurance unless you've got animal damage coverage, which a lot of people don't. So here are the steps that you need to do to cut out that section and put in another piece. Obviously you need to have a spare piece of the original carpet, preferably the same sort of wear and colour. If you haven't got a spare piece, I suppose as a bit of a bodge, conceptually, you could go underneath an item of furniture like a sofa, cut a bit out of that where it's out of sight and put it in, which of course wouldn't help when it comes to moving house, but it'd be a temporary measure until you change the carpet perhaps. But here are the steps that we need to do, and here are some of the tools. So you want a sharp blade. This is what we call a Stanley knife, Stanley blade in it, which is this sort of blade. That's what we call it in the UK. You can get plenty of these new ones from eBay and Amazon and the like. Worth having a very sharp one to basically cut out the section we need. Got some contact adhesive, this sort of stuff, all this sort of stuff, spray on one, which hopefully we're going to use to do a reasonable repair on cutting out a square or rectangle here and replacing it. Okay, let's get into it first of all by lifting up, getting our Stanley blade down there. Gonna get well into the carpet, away from the hole, to bits of thread that hopefully are not affected by the missing thread, because this hole's been here quite a while, and what I have noticed is that the threads spread and effectively sort of fill the hole to a certain degree. Okay. See, you need to go over a little bit more, I think. And then in this way. I'm going to try and preserve the piece that's being cut out, because so that it doesn't fall apart, in other words, because I want to line that up on a new piece of carpet or a spare piece of carpet and cut out exactly the same size on our spare piece of carpet. So we'll keep doing that. I'm not going to show all of this video. Okay, that's the piece of carpet out. Obviously a fair bit of fraying on the edges just going on, but generally it's in line with the backing thread on this carpet. A little bit dusty. What we don't want to do is pull too many of these threads out of the way. You really want to glue them in place, but if they've become detached, then yeah, sure, lift them out of the way. Right, next step, go and find a spare piece of carpet, cut out the same size, and make sure that the pile of the carpet is running the same way. So you can see on this carpet, which is pretty compressed because it's quite old, it's flowing from my right to left. So you want to have the same direction as well. Right, here's an old bit of the same carpet that I had in the garage. I can tell already it's not going to exactly colour match because this is quite worn because it's in a throughway in a lounge. A little bit difficult to work out the pile direction. One of two, I think maybe that way. And you can see this is a little bit lighter, but I think after I get my carpet cleaner out and give it a bit of a clean up all over the same area, then it should match in a bit better. So let's hoover out a bit of muck first. That will do, I think. You can see that the thread spacing is slightly different. obviously varies across the carpet, so we're just going to have to go on a distance. So mark off, start off where you want to cut it, and then follow that down. Preferably make sure you go in a straight line. Just cut that again. Always cut away from your fingers in case it slips. And yeah, when it comes to using the contact adhesive, probably also be a good idea to wear gloves. And pretty shortly, it needs a bit of glue on to stop these bits of thread all falling off, because the thread on the edge of the carpet has really nothing to hold on to keep it in place. So we have to rely on the glue to do that. Right, this time we'll cut it a little bit slower so that we go a bit straighter, following that thread line down. Now, probably if I was a professional carpet repair person, I would take the whole carpet off and put some carpet tape on the back of the carpet, which I suppose is possible. You could feed some underneath here and then have the sticky carpet tape poking up, but I think what's going to be better is using glue, and I'm just going to glue the carpet to the carpet next to it and to the underlay underneath, which doesn't really matter too much because probably put new underlay in it when I take it up. All right, that sort of fits. And next we'll put lots of glue down. So I've got an old bit of carpet, so I've got an old bit of contact adhesive I use first, and then the new Evo stick one, and I've got lots of glue around the edge to keep the thread in place. Normally with contact adhesive you apply it and then allow it to become tacky before attaching it to the surface, but the carpet is very air permeable, of course, so it's going to dry later. Right, that's going to go on like that, pretty much held in place just by the carpet next to it, so don't have to worry too much about it being held in place or not. So just want to spread our glue around the edge. Don't worry if bits of thread keep coming off. We can either poke those back in or pull them out later. And I'm going to do a little bit of glue on the backing as well to hold it down, a little bit around the edge. That should be enough to hold it all in place, and then I'm going to try and push it in without getting too much on my fingers. I will poke it in and try and line the threads next to each other, so at the same height, and the tension onto the glue. It's a little bit tricky. Push it down, brush away some of the loose threads. A little bit picking out. So some bits of it are okay, some bits of it not too brilliant. So this joining edge looks pretty good. Not going to try and interfere with it too much because I really want that glue to settle. Certainly want it to settle before doing the cleaning. And yeah, so we can poke some of the threads down into the glue that's down there as well. I think might do for now. one bit looks to be a bit too high, then just need to pull that up. I think that will do for now until the glue dries. Come back to it later, try and give it a clean, try and match it, because obviously you can see it's a bit of a different colour, but with the right light it's starting to blend in a bit. So if you think there's a few gaps where it's missing a few threads, then you can take some of these spare threads, dab a glue on the end, poke them down to the right sort of height, and see if that'll help fill it later. Threads tend to be sort of doubled over, bent piece of material like that, so just dab a little bit of glue on the end and feed it into where you think there's a little bit of a hole, like maybe there. But don't worry too much, because these threads do tend to spread around quite a lot. Dab a glue down there as well. Well, I think there might be loose threads. Right, that I think will do for the moment. It's just a little bit less noticeable, at least. So that's it stuck in place. Not a perfect colour match, so it relies on getting a replacement piece of carpet that's rather similar in wear and colour and so on. So if you look hard for it, you can see where it was. But yeah, not too bad a repair, and doesn't really catch the eye so much as it did previously. It's there where my foot is, if you can't see it, which I'm sure you can. Right, well, hopefully that's useful. Gives you a few pointers as to what to do. This is in honour of my poor dog, Mickey, that died a while after, a few months or something after this. I think it was 6 months afterwards. So it wasn't the carpet that killed him, but he was a nice dog. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.